to find it. It's really helpful when channels start to grow to be able to go back and to say, okay, so this is where they started. So I went on a bit of a shopping spree recently, purchased all of the things that I needed to kind of give you the best experience. Now, I've streamed before in the past with different games. I've never streamed a FPS game before, and I know how kind of resource heavy they are. I normally play more strategy based games and stream more strategy based games. So this is kind of a new genre for me. I'm excited to dive into it. Hopefully, I'll be able to make something of this over time. We'll see. Um, but yeah, let's jump into it. So, in terms of, let's look at the system I'm using first. We'll talk about the software. Once I've done that, I'll talk about the hardware that I have set up, and then we'll talk about the game. And apologies for not having a green screen right now. I will get that and cut this background out, but at the moment, because of lockdown, it's kind of on order, and I'm waiting for it to turn up. So we just have to make do with the background for now until I can cut that out, which will be coming soon. So in terms of software, well, I'm using a Mac. I'm streaming to you today from an iMac. And I have, in terms of software, I have the Mac Boot Camped, and I am running Windows 10 Home. I do need to get a license key for that, but I'm running Windows 10 Home, and I am using Streamlabs OBS. Okay, so that's kind of the software side of things. I'm also using an app called Stream Deck, which pops into some hardware I've got here, and a few other little things as well, just for performance boosting. I've got a Radeon graphics card, so I've got the settings all done from that. But apart from that, that's kind of the software side of it. That's all that's really here. It's just Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Warzone, Modern Warfare, Streamlabs OBS, and that's kind of what I'm running there at the moment. In terms of hardware, well, I just mentioned I'm on a Mac, so I'm using an iMac. It's a 2019 5K. It's running an i9 at 9900K at 5 gigahertz. It's got 64 gigabytes of RAM. I've upgraded the graphics card to the Radeon Vega 48. And yeah, so that is the iMac that I'm running. It's got, as I say, it's got the Intel, it's got the 8-core i9 processor within it, and it seems to be doing okay. Because of that setup at the moment, I am encoding on the CPU and not the GPU, and so my CPU is running at about 70%, at 60 frames a second at 1080. 1080p. Now, the reason I've done that is because I think the Vega 48 struggles a little bit with gameplay and streaming. Gets a little bit potatoey at times. So I have ordered a new graphics card. Now, because I'm running one machine, I decided I don't want a dual machine. I don't want to stream and play on separate machines. So I'm going to run everything from the iMac. I'm going to prove that you can be an effective streamer on a Mac. It is possible. It's not overly cheap, but it's definitely possible. But the way that I've done that is I've bought the Razer Core X. So I've got the Razer Core X. I did not go for the Chroma. It seemed a bit overkill for me. And that is going to house my new graphics card, which I've just purchased, which arrives tomorrow. And that is the GTX 2080 Ti. I just went top of the range. I went for the best out there. Got a good deal on it, but at the same time, it was still very expensive. Well over £1,000 for the graphics card. In fact, it was over £1,200 for the graphics card. But I do believe that that is going to be important. I think that the bottleneck I will have will be the USB C connection. I think which is a 40 gigahertz connection. I think that's going to be the bottleneck. But that is going to be what I'm going to use. I'll run a display port from the 2080 into my monitor. Now I've got my 5K iMac screen, obviously the built-in screen, and I've also got a separate gaming monitor, which is an Asus. It's from Tough Gaming, and that is a 240 Hz, 1 millisecond, 1080, 27 inch. That's what I'm using for gaming on at the moment. It's only running at 120 Hz because I am using the Elgato HD60S Plus through a HDMI port, because I can't connect my display port up until my new graphics card comes. So because I'm using HDMI, it's only running at 120 Hz, but at the moment I'm still getting a solid 60 frames. If I take out the capture card, I'm getting 120 frames consistently. Latency is somewhere between 10 to 20 milliseconds. With that being said, That is the kind of that side of it. In terms of peripherals, I'm using a SteelSeries Apex 350 keyboard. I'm using a SteelSeries Rival 710 mouse. I've got the SteelSeries Quick Prism LED mouse mat and the Arctic 7 headset. Again by SteelSeries. I'm running Blue Yeti for my audio, which is running on the Rode. I think it's a PSA 1 boom arm. I am waiting for the shock mount, the blue shock mount. It needs a special shock mount, so it's just kind of dangling there at the moment. But I'm waiting for that. I've got an XLR cable or an XLR extension lead running through an XLR cable that goes into my Go XLR Mini, which is what I'm using to control the audio. And then I've hardwired in, even though these are wireless headsets, I've hardwired this in to pick up the feed, the headphone feed from the Mini Mixer. I've got two Elgato key lights in front of me, the LED key lights, which are absolutely incredible. I love them. They're amazing. And I think that is about it. Oh, and a Logitech C920 HD camera, which I will replace with a Brio again once it becomes available. And finally, I have the Elgato Stream Deck. So I'm pretty much running an Apple Elgato mix here, and SteelSeries. They're kind of the three main brands that I'm playing with here. So that's everything that I've got in terms of software and hardware. We'll see how it runs. We'll see how everything goes. But yeah, that's it. So my name's Steve Woody. I've been playing games for a long time. The first kind of multiplayer game that I ever remember playing was Call of Duty Red Alert. I used to play that through a null modem lead. If anyone remembers back that far, I had two machines back to back in my room, and I used to sit there with my brother and play that. Always been a bit of a geek, loved gaming. Got into kind of strategy-based gaming, but kind of took a bit of a break. Joined the army, went in the army for 6 years. Life obviously got in the way after that, and several jobs, bit back forth, relationships, marriages, things like that. Had a daughter. Daughter decided she wanted to get into gaming, but more app-based gaming, so more Minecraft, Roblox. So I started playing that with her. Started to get back into gaming and found Dota. Started to play Dota 2. Got absolutely hooked on that. Got something close to 10,000 hours now on that game. But I decided I was thinking about casting that game, and then I started playing Game of Thrones, which was a pay-to-play game or pay-to-win, and I just kind of I started to play it. I started to stream it, but then I kind of didn't enjoy it as much. So I was streaming a bit of Dota. I was streaming a bit of Game of Thrones. I stopped Game of Thrones because I didn't believe in the whole ethos behind the whole play-to-win model, and that is when I found Warzone. Fell in love with Warzone. Didn't know my Mac could handle it. Went through an absolute ball ache of setting up boot camp, getting all the drivers installed, doing everything I needed to do to get Warzone to work. Finally got it to work, and just got so frustrated with the frame rate that I decided to just go out, and anytime something wasn't working, I was just throwing more money at it. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this. I probably could have gone out and bought two really high-end PCs, but instead I've decided I'm going to run this on the Mac. So with that being said, here we are on a Mac, boot camped, using Windows 10, playing Warzone. If you ever thought the day would come when you would see a Mac streamer, here I am. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. That's my tech, that's my systems, that's me. I will get into more engaging content, and I will go through and we'll do some cool stuff. But at the moment, just to have a look at where we are, if I go into, I'm not going to go into Warzone, we'll just pop into multiplayer at the moment. So yeah, I've been playing this game, so let's look at this first. So we're going to go to the barracks, and let's just have a quick look at the records. Okay, so as you can see, boots on the ground. So I've been playing this game for a total of 20 hours and 11 minutes. I've played 311 games. I have a kill to death ratio of 0.86. Okay, not the best, but you know, I'm quite new to this game. I've only had this game now for about, must be 2 weeks, coming up 2 weeks now, playing this. Feels like about 2 weeks, yeah. So, haven't been playing it that long. I basically jumped into this during the Battle Pass. I bought into the Battle Pass, and I think I bought that about 10 days ago. So yeah, about 10 days I would have said, with my first game. Looking at achievements, haven't really done much here at the moment. Lots to go through. We'll get into that. Rank progression, yeah, kind of enjoyed playing through some of this. Like 169 career level at the moment. Might see if I can pop a few more of these before the season ends next week. Belong to a regiment my brother decided to set up. We are the Cameltopians, and this is our Camelto regiment clan tag. Based just outside London in Essex at the moment, but London, for those of you that are not in the UK, between London and Essex. And yeah, that's me at the moment. So not really a lot else to talk about here in terms of operators. Few that I've still got to unlock some. I did complete the first level of the campaign mode. Haven't gone through it in great detail. Starting to get a bit hooked on my weapons. So this is what I'm currently rolling with at the moment. My core is a Grau 5.56. Secondary is a MP7. We did manage to camp the Bunker 11 and pick up the Mad Drober skin, which I do love. I think that looks really nice. Kind of enjoy that. But the Grau 5.56, I've finally got to gold. Done that yesterday. Yeah, so that's what I'm running. In terms of customizations at the moment for core, I'm running a monolithic suppressor. I've got FFS 20.8 barrel with an FSS Blackjack stock. I'm using FMJ and a Ranger foregrip. I'm not saying that is the best setup, but it's the one that I'm using right now, and I'm happy with it. It seems to be working so far. It does lack in mobility, but it definitely makes up for everything else. In terms of the MP7, I'm running a monolithic suppressor. I'm running no stock. I'm running 60 round mag, Ranger foregrip, and FMJ. Makes this a very mobile with high fire rate, and gives me a lot of control. So great for hip firing. I quite like the. I quite like this, but it could do with a bit more damage, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's what I'm running with there. Double time overkill and tracker with a frag grenade and heartbeat sensor. Then I'm running Ghost, which is just more of a MP7 and one of the things that I decided to do here, because I was considering what gun to use, and I used the Renetti because I don't know why, I quite liked it. I'm using from the armory. I've got this Guard 1 that I'm using, but I quite like it. Works quite well. For heavy, I'm using light machine gun with the MP7. Specialist is just the MP7. But I've got my my additional perks put there. For multiplayer, I'm doing Kill Chain. I'm doing the this is my fast Grau. This is just stupid. I'm running a ZLR Drifter with no stock, fully loaded with an XRK Void and 60 round mag. I call it the mini Grau. And I'm using the MP7 again. So MP7 and the Grau are my kind of two favourite guns at the moment. Whatever gun challenge I'm doing at the moment, I'm using here. Oh, and shield, because I just love trolling people running around with shield, bashing them to death. For a sniper, I'm not really doing anything at the moment with that. It's just kind of there, but I'm not using it. But yeah, so they're my custom loadouts. Right, so with that being said, I think that's covered everything. Let's jump into a game, shall we? We'll go into a bit of hard hat. Just have a quick game. Test out the stream, see how it works, see how it goes. I'm going to try and just pump the audio up a little bit more. It's difficult because I'm just very aware at the moment that these kind of streams don't have any engagement. There's nobody even knows this channel exists. I don't even have a profile picture or anything set up. I will get to doing all that. But I want to make sure that the quality and the content is good first, so I can watch this back. I can be happy with it. And that's kind of important for me because I don't want to put out crap content. I can't talk about the content itself, but in terms of quality, I want to make sure that we're getting a solid 60 Right, so
Hardpoint lost.
looks like we're playing halfway. It's a bit laggy.
When it moves, you follow.
Yeah, it's a bit laggy, but see how we go. Again, I'm waiting for that 2080 to make a big difference. I'm getting like 40 frames at the moment. It's going to be quite hard to play this. But the reason as well that I want to do this kind of reason I really want to play this game. Have a comparison when I put in the new graphics card. I want to see the difference.
Enemy at the cargo container.
Where are you? Oh, you're there.
Hardpoint contested.
Really? Where are you?
Hardpoint contested.
Sorry.
Hardpoint contested.
Oh, there you are.
Stand by to move.
Right,
The
we're
enemy
playing
took the
hard
hard
point,
point.
so let's do that.
Hardpoint contested.
Yes, boys.
Setting a charge.
Where is he? YOLO. I lagged out a bit there.
Allied UAV overhead. Enemy's got the hardpoint.
Oh, still there then. Right then.
Friendly VTOL on station for Overwatch.
Get some boy.
Get ready, we're about to move. Hardpoint moving. Enemy's taking the hardpoint.
Smash boys. Rude.
Hardpoint contested. Enemy at the right element. Next hardpoint. Enemy's got the hardpoint.
Right, well, I got smashed, but
Abort
the
mission.
point is,
Regroup.
this was just really to test the stream. So I saw my FPS there go down to about 30, 40, up to about 100. Playable, it is playable, but not the best. So I'm going to come back tomorrow once the graphics card is in, and I will do another test. We'll play another game, and we'll see how we do. So yeah,